What's up, guys? It's your boy Ethan. Hope you're having a great day. Welcome back to another video on the channel. Huge announcement going on right now. For a limited time only, you can get the Rampage poker gear and merch going on at my online store right now. Screen printed stuff like this will be available for pre-order, and also for the next 48 hours. If you're watching this video early, one huge shout out to you guys. You can save 10% off using this discount code at checkout, Rampage10. Just a huge thank you for all of your support, and I'd really appreciate it if you just want to check out the store. You can get shirts like this, get a t-shirt like this, or this. If you like green, here you go. Sweatshirts, also super comfy. And this red is by far my favorite. You guys see me rocking this on literally every other video because it's super comfortable. I love the color, and the logo looks phenomenal in this as well. So you can check all this out. All the screen printed stuff is available for the next 2 weeks for pre-order. There's also a bunch of other things you can check out in the store, like sweatpants, hats, backpacks, scarves, all that fun stuff. Check it out in the description below. I'd really appreciate it. So huge shout out to Jamie once again for setting all of this up. If you guys are joining my Facebook group, you'll know who he is in that group because he's always super active on there, and he set this whole thing up. So huge shout out to him. Thank you so much. So use Rampage10, that discount code in checkouts, to save 10% off for the first 48 hours of watching this video. Thank you guys so much for the support. I really appreciate it. And we're on to the video. What is up, guys? It's your boy Ethan. Hope you're having a great day. Welcome back to another video. And today's Martin Luther King Day. So here, Monday, holiday. Action should be pretty good here on a Monday night at Encore. Had a few signs today where I probably think I shouldn't be playing. When I was leaving the house, I literally walked up and down my flight of stairs 3 times because I forgot something each time. So, seems like I'm just not in it today. I don't know. I took it as a sign that today might not go well playing poker if I'm just not totally in the game or whatever. But regardless, we are here. We're mixing in a section. So, let's see how today goes. Obviously, we're gonna get into hand right now. Let's go ahead and get into some of these hands, shall we? So, first hand, King Queen offsuit in middle position. There are 2 early position limps to me, and here with King Queen offsuit, I guess offsuit Broadway cards, we're going to go ahead and raise to $15. It's a little bit on the looser side given that there are 2 limpers out there, but let's go ahead, punish the limpers here at 1-3, raise to 15, and we get 3 callers, a player to my left, one of the small blind players, and a limper. So off to a flop in middle position, to a flop of 9-8-3 rainbow. Action checks to me, and not going to be c-betting on this board ever with king high. So we go ahead and check, and action checks around. Turn comes a queen of spades, brings in a backdoor flush draw, so we improve to top pair. The small blind in the spot leads out for $25. One of the limpers, the player to my right, makes the call. Here, not going anywhere with top pair, and I think raising it is just really dumb at this point. Well, I think raising here is just really dumb right now. Really going to be overplaying top pair, and a straight draw gets there as well, jack 10. So we make the call at $25, and the other player folds. Off to a river 3 ways. River comes a 7 of diamonds. Small blind just immediately leads out for $46. By the way that he bet that $46, he just picked up a random stack of chips, threw it in the middle, so he seemed pretty strong and confident in this spot. Player to my right, though, doesn't really give us much of a decision at all because he raises to $125. Not going to be calling this river raise ever here in this spot. You could have a bunch of 2 pairs, sets, and straights. So I fold, and the small blind folds as well. So I thought the small blind was strong. I guess not. And later on, we'll know that he isn't really strong that much ever. Second hand in this session, we have jack 10 offsuit in early position. Very loose open once again. This is we've just been pretty card dead. It's been an hour or 2 in this session so far. So here, jack 10 offsuit. We're just going to play it and see what happens. I opened to $15. Player to my left makes the call, and a loosey-goosey player that I have in my description in the cutoff makes the call. He was the same player in the small blind last hand. So we're off to a flop 3 ways. Flop comes 10-9-3 rainbow. Top pair, not a great kicker. Multi-way here out of position. Let's go ahead and c-bet with top pair. I bet $25. The player to my left, who I've seen overplay 1 pair hands in the past, he tanks and thinks for probably a minute or so. He plays with raising chips, but at the end of the day, ultimately just only called. So that's an interesting spot. And the cutoff makes the call as well. So off to a turn. Turn comes a 7, brings in a full rainbow. Board's a little bit more connected in this point, obviously. So here with basically an improved hand as we do pick up a gutter ball. I decide to check. I don't want to bet in this spot. We're going to go into check call mode a lot of the time here. It would be disastrous if I tried to bet again here out of position and then get raised. So not really trying to put myself in that position. So I check, and action ends up checking all the way around. The river comes an ace of diamonds here for out of position once again. Let's just try to get the showdown with our pair of tens. Maybe induce a bluff or two. See what happens. So I just check. The player on my left checks, and the cutoff bets $70. He has been firing and bluffing off a ton. Really just bluffing off his stack, it seems like. So here, against this specific player and this action kind of player, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to have to call. It's pretty standard here with a pair of tens. I call, and player on my left folds. Cutoff shows king jack offsuit, so he had king high, and we take it down. Next hand, we pick up pocket kings in middle position. An early player limps here, going to raise it up to $15. The action player folds, unfortunately. Probably would have sized up a little bit more, but I wanted this specific action player to call and be in it. But he folds, the big blind makes the call, and the other player folds, so off to a flop. Heads up. Flop comes ace, 8-3, rainbow. Just always an ace-high board when you have kings. He checks to me. I don't really think I can get a whole lot of value from worse right now, but let's play some pocket control. We're going to check. Turn comes a 6, and he bets $15 for that sizing. We cannot go anywhere yet. He could be value betting an 8 or worse pocket pairs like 10s or 9s and jacks maybe, but here, I'm just going to call it 15 and evaluate the river. The river comes in 8, so pretty gross card now. There's really not a whole lot that I beat. Obviously, middle pair on the flop has improved to trips, and we lose to a pair of aces as well. He throws out a bet of $20. It's just for value all the time, and if I had to call, I'm really just trying to bluff catch. But at the end of the day, just not good enough to fold here in this spot. So I call the $20 just really priced in. And he shows ace-10 offsuit for a pair of aces, and we lose. Moving onwards here, ace deuce suited under the gun with 400 in our stack. I go ahead and just open limp. Let's play a little bit more conservative. We want to play this hand. We want to see a flop and see what happens. So I limp. Loosey-goosey raises to $15. A fairly loose reg makes the call. And here, I know that the loosey-goosey player, it's just so weird to come out of my mouth. He doesn't raise pre-flop ever. So I just know when he does this pre-flop, he's got to have a pretty strong and good opening hand. So here, just knowing that he's nearly at the top of his range, I'm going to call as well and hope for a good flop for me. Flop comes 4, 5, 9, 2 diamonds and a club out there. So flop a gutter ball and a backdoor flush draw. Pre-flop raiser, loosey-goosey, fires a c-bet of $25. The reg makes the call, and here for 25, a little bit priced in. Hope to see a club or improve to our gutter, so we peel one as well, and we call the 25. Turn comes the jack of hearts. Here, just absolute brick for us, and the pre-flop raiser once again bets $25. The middle position player folds and actions onto us. Here, $25. I just don't want to fold just yet, but probably should. We call, hoping to bank our gutter, or maybe our overcard. A pair of aces could be good here. So off to a river. River comes the 6 of hearts. I check, once again, a complete brick that just doesn't help us. He fires a bit of $75. I know that he's been just betting really light all the time on the river, but given the action, he raised pre-flop, ace high. What am I going to do here? I fold. We didn't hit our outs. Next hand, we pick up the nice, good old premium aces here in the small blind. We're playing 400 deep, and we are playing 7-handed here in this spot. We have an early position player who opens it up to $15. There are 2 callers to me. I'm in the small blind, out of position, the worst position. Let's 3-bet on the bigger side to $80 total. The early position pre-flop raiser jams or calls it all in for $79 total. Other players fold. The button really thought about calling, and he had a pretty big stack, similar sized stack as mine, and would have loved him to make that call, but he folds, so we're just off to a flop and off to a run out heads up, all in. Flop comes ace, 10, 5, 2 clubs out there, flopping top set, pretty good, so I show my hand expecting to be good here a lot of the time. The turn is a queen, the river is a 6, he flips over, king, jack off suits. That's unfortunate, but at least it was only $80, and you can't win them all, and you can't always run hot. Hand after that, we have King Queen offsuit, under the gun +1 with an under the gun straddle out there. So here, first to act, let's raise our King Queen to $20. We get 2 callers pre-flop in the small blind and the big blind. So off to a flop in position here finally. Flop comes King 8-6, 2 hearts out there. Flopping top pair, good kicker. When action checks to me, I'm going to c-bet $40. Pretty standard hand because none of them make the call, so they all fold and we take it down. Not too bad. Following hand, we have King 10 of spades in the big blind. An early position player opens it up to $15. He's been pretty active and playing just a little loose, so but button makes the call, and here in the big blind, let's just call as well. We could sometimes 3-bet, but that seems suicidal out of position, so we're trying to keep him in there, see what happens. Flop comes Jack 10-4, 2 diamonds and a spade out there. Middle pair, backdoor flush draw, backdoor straight draw. Got a decent amount going on for us. The pre-flop raiser c-bets $13, and the button makes the call. What is this $13 bet signifying? I couldn't tell you, but here, not going to be raising. Just going to flat here, out of position, evaluate turns and rivers. Turn comes the deuce of hearts. I check. Pre-flop raiser fires for $60. The button folds, and actions onto me. This is just a pretty weird line to take on this board. Seems like he's on a flush draw a lot of the time, or some sort of overcards and a gutter ball, it seems. I'm not really sure what's going on here when he bets $13 on the flop and then size up to 60. So not believing him, going to have to make the call all the time, see what happens on the river. I make the call, and the river comes a deuce of diamonds. Not a good card. Really didn't want to see diamonds out there. I check, and he checks back and gives up, it seems like. So I show my hand, pair of 10, and we scoop that one. I think we would have been in a pretty awful spot here when he fires that triple barrel if he wanted to. So it might have gone through, who knows, but I'm lucky that he just checked it back. The last hand that we will go over, pocket jacks in the cutoff. An early position player limps. We have a middle position player, raises things up to $17. Here, he likes to size up a little bit when there's a limper out there, and I've seen him raise to $18 with king queen offsuit in the past. So here with pocket jacks, I'm going to be 3-betting this player a lot, this recreational player. It seems like I go ahead, size up to $50. We have a big blind who jams his entire stack in for $130. I'm not too worried about this because this is the same player that jammed king jack offsuit when he had $80 in his stack. So he could be jamming a fairly wide range, and it's just insignificant there for only $80 for us to call. But the middle position player who raised a 17 tanks for about a minute or two, a fairly long time, and then ends up jamming his entire stack. I really 3-bet because I thought I was ahead in this spot. Here, this is kind of interesting because I know how wide his range could be, and I think this $300 jam, when he jams about 100 big blinds, I just don't think that this jam could be with a premium hand. I just never put him on a premium hand. I don't know, from what I've seen, I thought that he had a fairly wide opening range, and ace king can absolutely be in this spot here. So I'm confident that I am ahead of this player. I toss in the call. So we're going off to the races 3 ways, all in a $700 pot, or a little bit over that. The middle position player shows first for fun. He has pocket queens. The big blind shows ace queen. We are just drawing really, really slim here to 2 outs. So let's try to improve. Flop comes 4, 5, 6. Doesn't improve anyone. The turn comes a 7, which we could chop this up 3 ways, which would be pretty cool. And the river comes a 4, so we don't improve. Pocket queens takes down a pretty big pot, so nice hand to him. Pocket jacks, I mean, I only had $50 committed. Probably could fold, but here, with playing with 100 big blinds and thinking I was ahead the whole time, that's unfortunate. We are out of Encore. Today was a really short session, and surprisingly, no one's here. You're gonna see in this parking lot as I walk in the middle of it, there are no cars here, and there weren't a whole lot of action or a whole lot of tables running either, which is really strange on a Monday holiday. But I guess people were there Saturday and Sunday that I wasn't here for. But look at I don't even know where my car is. This is an issue. But look at this. Look at that. No one here. Oh, there's my car. Anyways, what am I gonna say? My pairs did not win. I didn't
I don't know. I'm not gonna say I didn't play great. I think I'm calling. I'm fine with my Jack's call. I don't care. He jammed 100 big blinds, or just under 100 big blinds, and we're gonna go with it after seeing what we've seen. I don't know how risk averse he is, so for him jamming, like he could easily have ace king there jamming 100 big blinds. I really just thought that I had the better hand against this player. From what I've seen, he opened, or he raised to $18 with king queen offsuit. He raised to $17 with pocket queens. I really thought that he had major pre-flop raising sizing tells, but we ran into it that time. Like, he also tanked too, which was really interesting. He tank jammed, so I just thought, like, was he tanking with ace king? Like, that, he definitely can do that, but aces got cracked, kings didn't win. I'm fine with it. Overall, not a good day. We were in the game for 520, out of the game for 220-ish. We lost just under $300. So for 3 hours, what are we gonna do? We can't always run really good. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully you had some entertainment out of this, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.